and welcome back to Reshape Live. I am here with my good friend and superwoman, or American woman, Kyle Richards. You know, Kyle's someone that I have really admired as a wife, as a mother, and as a friend for so many years. And she really does seem to do it all. And she has so many balls, and they're all in the air at the same time, but you do it. I mean, you have such a busy life, right? You're managing your 4 children, your husband,
5 dogs.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the dogs.
That's like on the top list of my most difficult things I've ever done in my life.
I think they appear on your Instagram and in your photos more than the kids do. I get it.
They have consumed my life. I'm not kidding you. Mom, got it. Producer, act, I got it. The 5 dogs have sent me over the edge. First time I've ever felt like I needed a nanny. I've never had a nanny or driver with my kids.
I know,
you know
I remember.
The 5th dog, I was Googling dog nanny. I'm like, I need help. I can't, it's a lot.
The dogs broke the whole thing, right?
They did.
They really did. So the dogs, the businesses, your own personal, health and wellness, peace of mind, the shows. Do you have a daily practice that you do, really to settle in, like for inner peace, or you do?
Well,
okay.
For me, being thin was always a challenge. My sisters were always thin and blonde, growing up, like all the models were skinny and blonde. Well, I was brunette, when I was little I was blonde, but I darker and, curvier, and it was always hard for me. So I used to diet and exercise just to look thinner. And it was like so much work.
Exhausting.
Then it became, okay, it's gonna be for good health, I'm gonna be healthy, and that's what I'm gonna do. Now it's for my mental health. Because I'm already past the point. I'm not.
High five on that one.
I'm not a stick. I will never be a stick. Because I've already done the eating like a bird and exercising like a fiend. I'm not going to be a stick. So now I do it for my mental health. And if I miss a day, my whole day has a different energy and different vibe to it. So I get up really early every day.
What time?
I get up like 5:50.
So you're in the 5 a.m.
I
club.
start at 5:50 and then I push snooze like
snooze
6.
a few times.
Right,
okay.
Exactly. Because I've got to make my kids their snacks and breakfast, and one gets at the door at like 7:05, and one gets up, so it's a lot. But then once I get them to school and they're off, I have to exercise. I prefer to be outdoors because I love trees and I like just nature.
Yeah.
So I love to go on hikes. I will do like Soul Cycle or circuit training, but
to mix it up.
I have to do that. Today, I went on a hike and just did some things, and that's what really makes me feel like centered and together. And then I'm like, okay, now I can start my day. So I don't even like book any meetings or anything until after that time slot, because it's a given that it has to be done. Has to.
Good for you. I mean, so many women struggle with finding that time just for them because life is busy, right?
So busy.
But the key is to prioritize yourself. And you're saying, I mean, you really have a busy, busy life and you're doing a lot of things, but you found that thing that really centers and really grounds you, and you have blocked off that time. I mean, that's like respecting yourself and honoring yourself.
It took me years to get to that place.
To get there.
To be able to say, I will not make an appointment, or there's nothing that will happen before this time.
So what's the time?
Well, I mean, it depends, but I usually say 11.
Okay.
Because by the time I take my kids and drop them off, and then that workout could take this long, and then I have to shower. So I say, no appointments for 11. I can push it to 10, but because I can squeeze it in and get my workouts early, but I just do not make those appointments. But I feel like, at this point, I feel like I'm in the position where I can kind of do that. I get that there's moms will tell me I can't because, the baby's this and the nap time, and I have to, and, there's a time and a place, but for me right now, that's what's working, and I've made that.
That's great.
A priority.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you are a woman in Hollywood, in front of the camera, in Beverly Hills. Do you feel like a pressure to keep it all together?
I feel a pressure to keep it together, but not because I'm on television. If anything, doing The Housewives has actually allowed me to be freer about being who I am. Because as an actress, there was that pressure of, you were in that ingenue, window for a while, and then you're in this, but it's always about, this beautiful woman comes in, or this hot girl. I was like,
Wait, am I the hot girl?
Wait, I'm not the hot one. What am I then? So, in The Housewives, if I look a little overweight or I'm this, people will say, I relate to you because you're just like me. I have 4 kids and it's not always easy. And I was like, this is amazing. And I can actually just be me. And sometimes I look good and sometimes I just don't. And sometimes I'm thinner and sometimes I'm heavier. And, you know, that part I really appreciate about reality television. But the pressure is within myself, because if I don't look great, I don't feel good. My mood is a little bit different. It really is. You know, it is when you're like, oh my God, you know, that expression, feeling themselves. Well, it's so true. Like, I feel good about myself today. I'm carrying myself differently. And there's days I'm like schlumpy. I'm like not cute at all. I don't feel good about myself.
Right. I mean, you and I, one thing about both of our personalities, we both are very self-deprecating, but not in a way I feel like that we're like, think there's something totally wrong or we need to change, but just kind of in a funny way.
Well, I'm realistic. I'm chubby sometimes, and sometimes I look like not good. Whatever.
I mean, the conversations we have is like, I remember when we were at your dining room table one time and we'd look down and you had, it was either a glass charger, a mirror charger.
Mirrored placemats.
Mirrored placemats. And we'd look down and you're like, this is what we're going to look like in 10 years, because all of the face was like going forward. Well, it's happened, by the way.
I got rid of those placemats, by the way.
It's happened. But the funny thing about you and I is that, you know, and now we're talking purely physical, because, you know, we go deeper here in Reshape too, but it's fun. It's like what girlfriends do. You know, we have access to everything that's going on, whether it's, you know, fillers or surgeries Beverly Hills, everything, right? So you'll hear something or I'll hear something. I was like, oh my gosh, I just heard about this, or you'll say the same thing, and we'll look at pictures, we'll go online, but both of us tend to chicken out before we do anything.
Well, there's too much information.
It is.
And like, there's so many names, and you know, I have to know what they are by saying, wait, is that the $200 laser or the $2,000 laser? Like, I don't know the names and all this, and then I go, oh, that's too much information.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the goals here at Reshape, is to help like figure it out and navigate all those spaces, like for women. I mean, I actually visited Dr. Kassabian the other day, and I got fillers, which I don't normally get. And I called her to come and hold my hand because I was so nervous. I was really, really, really nervous through the process. And she was like, you know, getting her passports because, you know,
taken off from Mexico. It was stolen.
It was stolen, right? So. But yeah, we're kind of like the go-to. We go to each other for those kind of things.
To bounce those things off my girlfriends.
Yeah.
And have you heard about this? What do you think? And we're sort of each other's guinea pigs.
Exactly.
I was the guinea pig who went and said, let's go get eyelash extensions. And then they all fell out.
No.
And I had two like prongs on one eye and nothing on my other eye. And I was like, okay, well, that's not happening again.
It's not happening. Wait, if you don't mind sharing the one story, which cracks me up, and this just shows you her personality and why I love her so much. So she comes to my house and she's like, oh my gosh, look at my face. Like, does it look okay? I was like, you look beautiful. What are you talking about? You don't see anything? I was like, no, I don't see anything. You went to do something and you let them do one side. It was like something silly and minor, but you let them do one side and then you totally chickened out and you didn't let them do the other side.
I know. I was trying. It was I thought it was because season 1 of The Housewives, you hear all these things. You're like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm going to try them. You know, I want to look my best.
Oh, yeah.
And I had never done filler or anything. Yeah. And I went to put filler under one eye. And I was like, no, ma'am, this is not happening. Not doing that again.
So you just left it?
Left it. Yes.
Only this one would do that.
First of all, it
only you would do that.
Really hurt a lot. And I was like, I'm not down for that. And I just don't want to do that. So then, and Lisa Vanderpump, thank you very much. I'm going to out her right now. Tells me that I should get Botox right here. I'm like, who ever even heard of this? I didn't even know that.
I didn't know either. Right.
So she said, yes, because then you won't get lines there.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, well, thanks. I couldn't even sip out of a straw. I was like, dribbling. I'm like, that's not working for me. So yeah, I learned the hard way. So
well, Dr. Kassabian actually put a little, when I saw him doing it, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, no, you have to have a little Botox here so you don't have the wrinkles. I was like, wait, I don't even know what that means. Like, you're doing the wait. And it's exactly that.
Wait,
so when you do this, it doesn't form the little wrinkles like ladies.
Can you drink out of a straw?
Well, I haven't, well, yes, I can.
Really?
But I can.
Straw, please? I don't believe you.
I drink out of a straw every day with my coffee and my thing. I can drink out of a straw, but there's other things that are limiting. Like, I feel like my smile is a little off, but when I do like you know, like this, I don't have the wrinkles. So there you go. So maybe there's something to, I don't know, it's feeling a little different.
Really, like, I was like, this is not, I was like, Lisa Vanderpump is sabotaging me.
She wants me to look really weird on camera.
Yeah, anyway.
So yeah, so this is the kind of conversations we have. We should do like a little beauty segment.
I like Botox, I really do. You know, I did, but filler I'm just not a fan of. I'm really not. It has, you know, whatever. I'll get to.
Well, I'm going to take you to Dr. Kasabian with me to show you what
look
he
gorgeous.
did. Which it was a big, for me, it was a big deal. I know you said you couldn't really know, you didn't notice, but I feel like it gave me, it's good. No, oh my gosh. I feel like it gave me 5 years back of my life. So it was like, I felt like it took a little bit of a straw and like blew it in my face and it just kind of, a little bit.
I'm going to go with you.
Tiny bit. We'll go.
Take me, please. Yes.
We'll go investigate.
Okay.
So I ask every single guest this question. Is there an area of your life that you have desired to reshape and you actually made it happen? And what was your journey to sort of get there?
I would say with producing television, because when I started The Housewives, I was a stay-at-home mom at that point. I had given up acting. And by the way, being a stay-at-home mom and wife is still my favorite job in the world.
I know it is.
When I'm not filming, and I actually have 1 month window where it's the quietest time of the year, because we film for 6 months and then we're doing press for 5 months, and we have a little window after the reunions have aired where we go and the kids get out of school and I have a little month of not waking up for school, and then it's back to filming again. So I thought to myself, I'm going to take this time. Like, I really love being a stay-at-home mom and a wife, but like, I have this opportunity now, and they're not going to be coming forever. So, it's knocking at my door.
Right,
I'm going to take the opportunity and, carpe diem, basically.
Right. And
so I had to really step back and say, okay, well, let me think about this, because I'm already so busy with The Housewives and my stores and the kids and everything. But Portia's at an age where, if I have to go to New York for 2 days, she's like, bye, love you. She's at school, she's doing her thing. So I thought, okay, this is it. I'm going to do this. And I have the support of my husband, and the timing is right. So, I kind of just sort of like revamped, everything.
You took stock of everything. You really stopped and paused and looked at your life, what was working, what wasn't working. That's what I love. Yes, and that's what people really need to do. Stop and make your life work for you.
And then I was thinking, how long will I do The Housewives, and how long will it be on the air? I want to do something that's going to, keep going and moving forward long after The Housewives is done. And it has to be something that's true to me and something that I'm passionate about. There's so many opportunities that come your way when you're, doing a show like The Housewives, and people go, I want you to be the face of this, or I want to do this with you. And I'm like, that's not speaking to my soul. And I just don't think that I can be really successful unless it's something that's in my heart and soul. So.
And do you think that comes with age and wisdom and life, right?
I do.
Experiences?
I do. And then I hope, for some people it comes earlier. Like, this is something I can share with my daughters. So hopefully they won't figure that out in their 40s. They'll figure it out when they're younger. But it has to be something that I really loved and felt passionate about in order to be successful. Because if you look at all the successful people, they're doing things that they love and are passionate about.
And they never feel like they're working.
Exactly. So that's what I said. Okay, I'm going to revamp everything and like kind of just go off into this direction now. And that's what I'm loving doing.
Well, I am so proud of you. I've always been like a big cheerleader for you.
Best girlfriend and best supporter.
And to see everything in your life just blossom, and the family and the girls growing and the career expanding, especially to see you doing something that you really love, it gives me such joy. You have no idea. So I'm so proud of you, really. And thank you again. And I know just sharing your story is going to inspire like so many people. So thank you.
That makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It's always nice to think you're inspiring.
Yes. And thank you guys.